Okay, it's Sunday night and I'm bored, so I thought I would do a little scanning of eBay and Craigslist to see how much ridiculous crap I can find on there. What you see here is an Audiotronics classroom record player, probably from the late 60s. These typically sell for $50 or less, but this jackass is asking $1,000 for it. Yeah, good luck. $16.95 shipping. Antique 300A classroom record player, good condition, ready to be shipped to you. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Now, if this dumbbell would take the time to look, he would actually know that these things are not worth $1,000. And normally I don't bother sending messages anymore to these clueless types of eBay sellers, but when you're stupid enough to ask this kind of money for something, then whatever you get's good enough for you. I know a while back someone was advertising a Magnavox end-table stereo on here for some ridiculous price, and I sent them a polite email cluing them in that it wasn't worth that much, and what I got back was something along the lines of, well, only a fool would send a message like that, and any further contact will result in you being reported to eBay. Oh, I'm real scared. Yeah, just for the heck of it, let me look in completed listings and see what some of these Audiotronics record players have actually sold for. Okay, here's a nicer looking unit for $62. That's what that one sold for. Yeah, let's see, $85.12, which in my opinion is a little ridiculous. $64.99. Yeah, let's see about this one. $87, which is nuts. And here's one that sold cheap, $19.99. But yeah, the point is they're not worth $1,000. And if the moron would have taken a few seconds to look at completed listings, he would have known that. I mean, does he actually think people are that stupid? Okay, let's see what other kind of goodies we can find on here. Here's a big long Magnavox console stereo on eBay from the 70s, obviously from the plastic and particle board era. Yeah, looks decent enough, but probably not as good as the older units. They only want $1,000 for it. Well, somebody gave me one similar to this a while back, and I gave it to my friend at the flea market because he wanted something to play records on, and I didn't want to drag the big thing home. And there again, if people would take the time to do a little research, they'd know that these things are not worth that kind of money. In fact, a lot of times you're lucky if you can even give them away. Here's a Magnavox end-table stereo with the matching speaker, probably from the late 60s. And they want $4,750 for it. I mean, come on, what a maroon. Yeah, free economy shipping. Yeah, whatever. This 1950s Magnavox end-table stereo record player, blah, blah, blah. Well, first off, it's not from the 50s. It's from the late 60s. Well, I'm guessing you have no problem with this. This would be an incredible vintage set. This was my grandmother's. Oh, and I guess next you're going to tell me it has sentimental value. Well, I don't give a crap about your sentimental value. If it means that much to you, keep the thing. I don't care that you have fond memories of grandmother listening to 101 Strings albums on it. Well, so what? Oh, it was made in England. Woo! That means it's worth big bucks, I guess. I would love to find a great new carrying home for this. Well, fine, lower the friggin' price, you might. Whoever buys this will not be disappointed. Well, I better not be at that kind of price. I mean, come on, people. Y'all need to quit watching American Pickers and Antique Roadshow and all that crap on TV. Those shows are not a reflection of the real world. All they are is friggin' rating boosters. I mean, come on, there wouldn't be ratings, there wouldn't be wow factor if everything on these shows was, oh, well, that's a common piece worth maybe $10. No, that wouldn't produce no wow factor. So, you know, naturally the host of these kind of shows has to be a know-it-all expert about everything, and naturally everything's a one-of-a-kind item and is worth big bucks. I've gotten to the point when I'm trying to buy something locally and somebody brings up eBay, I tell them, well, you better just put the thing on eBay and sell it, because you're not going to get that kind of money in a yard sale in rural Mississippi. Or if the guys on American Pickers say it's worth so much, well then you better call them and let them buy it. It's like the Beat to Heck Philco radio that I saw on, I think it was Storage Wars. It is something that a collector might have paid maybe $25 for if we needed it for a part, but the know-it-all appraiser said it was worth $250 in its current condition. It might be worth up to $3,000 restored. Yeah, right. Give me a break. If they're worth that kind of money, I've got millions of dollars worth of junk in my building. Okay, let's see what other kind of funny stuff we can find. Here's an early Magnavox Astrosonic stereo console that's located close to me. Well, not a bad looking stereo, but at $200 they'll probably be keeping it. Well, $20 you might sell it. This record player is in very good condition. It is full of records and worked the last time I tried it. It was a couple of years ago. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Let's see what this is. 1948 True Tone radio and record player. $500. Better have some gold in it. It looks like your typical 40s console, AM shortwave radio, and 78 RPM record player. Well, actually, I think it has FM on it. Let's read the description. This radio and 8-track are in excellent condition. Work great. And also have 2 speakers, asking $500. Well, I wasn't aware they had 8-track players in the late 40s. Maybe this is that rare prototype model that was leaked out of a laboratory somewhere. So maybe it has the 8-track slot on the side of the cabinet. Yeah, it might actually be worth $500. Yeah, give me a break. Antique radio, vintage stereo, 600 simoleons. Is that some German job? Reduced antique radio, vintage stereo, $400. We'll reduce it down to maybe 40, and you might sell the flipping thing. I have an antique wooden Blaupunkt Arkansas 44, blah, 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 blah. When I plug it up, the light still works. Ooh, wow. And I was able to barely pick up some mumbled, staticky station. It sounds like the right speaker is blown. Still has the record player, but it probably does not work and may be missing parts. I'm not sure. It is probably from the mid-60s. Well, you're probably right on that. German made. It has dings, scratches, small parts of wood nicked off, etc., signs of wear, blah, blah, blah. Would make for a good restoration project. Well, damn it, sell it for a reasonable price, not like you're living in New York City. The blow is linked, blah, 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 blah. Well, who gives a crap? The thing's nicked up, beat up, it don't work right. It don't matter that it's old. Just because something's old don't mean there's a high demand for it. Once again, it's a console stereo from the 60s. You'd be doing good to get $20 for it. Okay, that's enough for tonight, but as you can tell, it's getting so Craigslist and eBay is about all good for entertainment purposes only. Okay, thanks for watching, and more to come later. I almost forgot one more thing, and this is something that baffles me too when it comes to eBay. Vintage Library of Congress, record player for the blind, repair or parts. Yeah, this is the common machine that people I knew had during the 70s and 80s. And we have the bargain price of $89.99 on this. Buy it now. Well, I'll clue you in on something. Last week, this thing was on here in auction format for $69.99, I believe, and obviously no one bid on it. So what does this genius do? He just bumps the price up to $90. Now, when I've got something for sale and it doesn't sell, that tells me I likely want too much for it. So I lower the price until it moves. I don't raise the price, because if they wouldn't give this guy $70, then what makes you think they're going to give him $90? I mean, come on. And here's something else I wouldn't mind owning for my talking book record collection. This is one from around a talking book from around 1940. But I don't want it bad enough to pay $25 for it. This thing has been on here for a while now. Buy it now, no best offer option. I mean, give me a break. I mean, the only person that would be interested in something like this is a person like me who is into this kind of thing. And, you know, there's not too many people who are. So there, once again, just because it's old doesn't mean it's valuable. And it's obviously not in high demand. So offer the dadgum thing for $1 or $2 and be glad you can get that much for it. Okay, I'm really done ranting about Craigslist and eBay now. Thanks for watching, and we'll get back to repairing something later. Or we might smash something. It'll depend on what kind of mood I'm in.